Hey guys, if you guys want, you can stay till the end of the video because I'm going to be going over the first death threat I received yesterday. And now this person is trying to find me to try to beat me up for a video I did, but you can stay to the end of the video to hear about that. Now on to the story. When 17-year-old Austin Waite Rowlands opened fire in Maryland's Great Mills High School, he did so with a firearm he was prohibited from purchasing. Investigators are now trying to figure out how Rowlands acquired the gun in the first place. The NRA lists gun laws by state, and that list shows that Maryland law requires the purchaser of a handgun to be 21 years of age. Federal law also requires that handgun purchases be 21 years of age now. Moreover, Maryland's gun control put in place in 2013 require would-be handgun buyers to submit fingerprints to the state police beforehand. The Baltimore Sun reports that would-be handgun purchasers must also undergo training, pay a fee to acquire a handgun license, and go through a 7-day waiting period before being allowed to acquire a gun, even if they are the age to do so. Yet the 21-year-old age requirement, fingerprint requirement, fees and license requirement, and 7-day waiting period did not prevent 17-year-old Rowlands from having a Glock 9mm pistol Tuesday morning. He used the handgun to injure 2 people before being confronted by an armed school resource officer. The officer shot 1 round at Rowlands, who fired 1 round in response. Rowlands was later pronounced dead, and investigators are trying to determine if he was killed by the resource officer or if he took his own life. So that being all said, it's good news that no one had died from this besides the shooter himself, and that's exactly how it should be. Now, since no one has died from this, thankfully, only the shooter, thankfully, I think it's appropriate to talk about gun control and how it relates to this story. As you heard from the article and from the title, you already know that this asshole got his handgun he used in this crime illegally, meaning that any gun control that would have been passed didn't do shit to stop him from getting a gun in the first place. Which again backs up my claim that gun control doesn't stop gun violence, it makes it worse. Criminals and gang members and shooters like this dumb fuck don't follow gun control laws, but the only people who do follow gun control is the people who would go through the legal process of owning a firearm. Which I don't know if the left knows this, but the overwhelming majority of criminals and gang members who commit the overwhelming majority of gun violence within America aren't going to follow your common sense gun laws, which makes the people who do follow the law that much more in danger because they cannot defend themselves against these criminals and gangs, because they are the ones who have to follow your stupid gun control laws, not the criminals and gang members. If you look at a state like Vermont, majority of people within the state own a firearm. Lowest gun violent state in the United States. The state is also 96% white, but that has nothing to do with the low gun violence. But the left in general loves to go on about how if we banned guns, if we had more gun control, violent acts like this wouldn't happen. Gun violence in America would simply just go away, and that's just not the case. Because like I stated before, gun control and gun violence, gun control only stops the people who are planning to go through the legal process from owning a firearm. Which, if you look at the statistics, the vast majority of gun violence is coming from your inner cities. It's coming from the gang members who are shooting at each other and shooting rival gang members. It's coming from criminals. It's coming from armed robberies. That's where the majority, the big bulk majority of your gun violence is coming from. And I can assure you that the majority of those people committing those crimes aren't following your common sense gun control laws. They don't care how many gun restrictions you put in place because they get their guns from the black market, just like this kid got his gun. They have guns being passed down to them. They have weapons being smuggled through the Mexican border. Your little puny gun control laws is laughable in the faces of these criminals and gang members. But where it's not laughable is the people who are trying to defend themselves from these people. Your average everyday citizens who buy a gun for hunting reasons, for obvious protection reasons, and just to have them because they like guns. These are the people that gun control affects the most. It doesn't affect your gang members. It doesn't affect your inner city gang. It doesn't affect your inner city violence. You see, if people had less opportunity to defend themselves against a would-be criminal and gang member, you will see violent crime in this country skyrocket. And now the only reason why it's at a 50-year low is because we've had less and less gun control over time. Now, if you are a criminal, if you are planning to go out there and rob somebody, if you are planning to go out there and break into somebody's home, you would feel a lot more safer doing those crimes if the government makes the non-criminal population more and more disarmed, more and more less likely to defend themselves, because you're not going to pay attention to these gun control laws. Because why would you? You're a criminal, you're a gang member. It wouldn't make fucking sense. Gun control actually helps out these criminals because it gives them more incentive to go out there and rob somebody, because more and more of the population that they're planning to rob is disarmed. Now, the only reason why it's slowed down over the years because more and more people are owning guns. And if you're a criminal, going into somebody's house is a big risk, because you don't know as a criminal, if you try to break into this person's house and you just step foot in their house, you could get your fucking head blown off now. Gun control laws never stop the criminals. It never stops the people who are actually out to commit crimes. It only stops the people who want to defend themselves, which I have no idea why it's such a hard concept for the left to understand this. Gun control laws don't affect the criminals, and it won't affect the gun violence in America, because the vast majority of your gun violence is coming from the inner cities. It's coming from gang members. It's coming from the criminal elite. That's where the bulky majority of your gun violence is fucking coming from. But the left is still so adamant of trying to ban guns, trying to put forth more extensive gun control laws, despite all the facts and statistics that prove otherwise. Gun control does not make a population safe. Gun control makes it worse. Now, in the case of this school shooting, this kid got his gun illegally. He didn't go through the process. So this is a clear and cut case, and it proves my point that even if you had gun control laws, it wouldn't have stopped this kid from owning a gun. And this is commonly known. You can easily get a gun on the black market. And had that happened in the Florida school shooting, the left wouldn't have talked about it as much. Now, I say it's a good thing that nobody died from this. The only death was the shooter, and it was done at the hands of the school resource officer. Now, if the left wants to continue to keep our schools safe and keep our kids safe, as they love to say, then we should employ more school resource officers. Have 3-5 of them working at one school, because like I said, if this police officer, if this school resource officer was all the way on the other side of the school, the person shooting up the school would have had a good amount of time to kill as many people as he could. So like I said, it's a good thing that no one in this incident has died besides the school shooter. And the left needs to understand that their gun control wouldn't have stopped this incident from happening. And without this resource officer, it would have probably went a lot darker and a lot more people would have died. Now on to my first very own death threat that I've received on this channel. So late last night, I got a comment on my recent video, Anchor babies are now being deported. I realized that I said Archer babies instead of Anchor babies. But anyway, I got a comment on the video last night, and I'm going to read this out for you here. I wish I could see you face to face, homeboy. I would fuck yo bitch ass up. And I provoked him after this. I thought this was funny. And I said, after I'll beat your ass, I would take your woman and give her her very own Anchor baby. And he says, let's meet up, chump. And then he also says, you're just mighty behind this keyboard like the rest of your white, blue-eyed devil Conrads. And I said, meet up where? And he says, where you at? And he says, I'm in LA, where you at? And I said, Las Vegas, boy, so we ain't that far away. Make sure to bring your bitch so I can take her from you afterwards. Now this is me completely trying to trigger him and make him more mad. And he says, no worries, I got riders in Northtown, Las Vegas. What's up, where you at? Better yet, what's your number? I'll make it happen right now. I'm the only one doing the fucking here, chump. Bring your mom and sister, trust me, I got a major game. And I said, Northtown is where all the brown folk live. I live in the nicer places, son. And he was like, LOL, you're funny Peter Pan looking ass mofo. You ain't shit, dog. I'll break you down, punk. And I said, get on a stream with me then, boy. Let's see if you can debate me. And he says, sending the word out. And I said, if you want, your Happy Meal looking ass can debate me over a stream and we'll see how good you are. And he says, cut that fucking tongue out. Don't trip, we got you. Late, sucker. So that's no to a stream. Pity. Pussies stay pussies. Still, send your bitch my way so I could put that Anchor baby in her. And he says, Foo, you have no idea what you just started. Good night, puto. Not even mommy can help you now. I think it's funny that my video triggered him to the point where he was saying that he was going to come find me just to try to beat me up over a video. But I guess that's just how it is with these people. They get triggered over the smallest and stupidest things. I'm not worried about it. He's probably just talking out of his ass. But if I end up dying and being shot up by some gang members because of a video I did, you guys would know what happened. That's it for this video. Peace out, guys.